Hello, beautiful people. It is I, Vemiloevergreen here. Now, my pronouns are he, him, but if you got something juicy to tell me or you're rooting me on, girl is an exception. And welcome back to another episode of Tea with V. All right, Vemizers, I hope you had a fabulous week. I know that I did, so let's just jump right into some hot chai topics. You ready? Yep, come on. Let's get your teas ready. Come on in, get yourself situated. First of all, I just wanted to shout out to all my dyslexic brothers and sisters and non-gender conforming. I didn't know October was Dyslexic Awareness Month. I didn't even know we had a month. Did you? I didn't even know. So if you're not familiar with Dyslexia Awareness Month, head over to my description down below where you can get all the information after the episode because we got a lot to discuss. Be a part of the awareness. I think it's so important. You know, I remember growing up, I was so embarrassed and so ashamed of being dyslexic and, you know, having trouble reading and writing and all of that. And yeah, I know what it feels like to not feel smart enough in the class or not feel confident enough to read out loud. So if you're a part of that community, I see you and I feel you, and it's okay. You know, I embrace my dyslexia. If I trip on a word, I'm not gonna die. No one's gonna make fun of me, you know, and no one's gonna make fun of you if you know, beat them to it. Yeah, I'll be like, oh, you didn't know I'm dyslexic up in this joint, you know, and I own it and I'm proud of it, and I wouldn't change anything about it because for me, it is something that I feel that builds my character and builds my confidence because I just remember even like going to high school. I remember I would have nightmares of going to high school because I would just be afraid that I wouldn't be, you know, quick enough to learn, you know, certain things that other people have easier time of learning. And and also shout out to all of my special education teachers. Y'all have been such a monumental support system to me. You know, funny story real quick. I didn't even realize that I had dyslexia. I thought I was just somebody special. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, oh, I don't got to take science. I don't got to take Spanish. Wait a minute. I don't got to be in math class. You know, I still had to learn, you know, X, Y, and Z and A, B, and C to, you know, get my wits and roundabouts. But like, I had no clue that I had dyslexia or a learning disability until I got into high school. Isn't that crazy? So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. You know, I mean, it is what it is. Happy Dyslexia Awareness Month. And yeah, to all the people who are struggling with reading and writing, this is what audiobooks are for. But also, we have a special guest on today's show. Oh yes, it is the only, my brother, Ronnie Reed. Yeah, so he'll be on later in the show. So stay tuned for that. He's going to talk about him being on the play that I went to go see, A Raisin in the Sun. He's also going to talk about him being a comedian and an actor and him being my brother, essentially. So stay tuned in for that, all right? So our first topic is about this designer Coperni. Yes, Coperni. Okay, so Bella Hadid closed out this Coperni show in Paris for Fashion Week, and she was wearing this spray-on dress that Coperni designed. Crazy technology. Look, isn't that crazy? This dress literally dried in the matter of seconds into a fabric that was movable. It didn't drip. It was literally like How impressive is that? I'm waiting for this to happen to be in the commercial market where all of us can have a spray-on blazer, some spray-on jeans, spray-on, that right there is the future. So to the House of Coperni, you did this. This is a monumental fashion historical moment right here. To be able to design a technology where you can spray fabric to a human body and design it the way you want to, cut it as this woman did, and this girl just walks like nobody's business, that right there, that is the future. I don't care what nobody says. So shout out to Coperni and the House of Coperni for doing this technology, because this didn't happen overnight. This must be months, maybe years in the making. Years. Like you won Fashion Week. My only concern though is after, like, do you just rip? Is it just a one-time use? Like, are you able to like put like Velcro strips on the back so you can reuse it, or is you just cut it, or throw it away, or do you save the fabric? That's incredible, and she's walking like it's nobody's business. Isn't that amazing? So, all in all, I'm thoroughly impressed, and one day I will be able to be in Fashion Week and see one of the shows, because that's always been my goal. You know what I mean? Every time when fall comes around, I love me a fall. Sidebar, it's been cold up in these streets. It is cold in my studio right now. I'm freezing. Serving you a look, though. I'm serving you fall business chic right now. But like, yo, I want to go to one of these fashion shows so badly, but one day I will, in God's timing. But all in all, Bella Hadid, congratulations for being a part of this monumental fashion moment. Like, this will be going down in FIT history books, if you ask me. So, congratulations to all parties involved. So, from Bella Hadid to Gigi Hadid getting bullied by Kanye West, who was sporting a White Lives Matter t-shirt at one of his fashion shows. Now, I don't know about you, but let me tell you this, and I'm going to be as nice as I can. Kanye West has a mental illness. I don't care what nobody says. I think it all started right after his mother passed away from liposuction. She passed away from liposuction many moons ago. But he was still famous around the time. But I think, he started losing his marbles when his mother passed away. And it's a cry for help to a certain degree. And I just think that him supporting him, I think he's so gone that it's just not even funny anymore. It's actually quite disturbing in a lot of different ways. And the way that he's been acting further proves that he is not a reliable person in a lot of different ways. I've rumor on the streets that he's been stealing other people's designs on like underground designers for his Donda collection or his Yeezy collection or whatever, And I just think that it's really, really sad that, he is not getting, or maybe he's getting the proper medication. I don't know, but like, it's very sad. It's very, 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 very sad. And for him as a black man supporting this type of statement is unacceptable. And I believe that this right here shows us that he is not proud to be in the black community. He does not want to partake in the black community. And by you supporting the White Lives Matter shirt makes you look ignorant as hell. It saddens me because he's such a phenomenal artist, a great musician, a fabulous rapper, all of that, an amazing designer. To a certain degree, we can argue about those Crocs, those Yeezy Crocs. But for you to go out to make a statement like this is really unacceptable. It seems to me that you're giving the middle finger to all the mothers whose sons were killed in police brutality. That's what it's giving me. Now, granted, I'm all for celebrating my vanilla brothers and sisters and not gender conforming. All lives matter for sure, but all lives cannot matter unless black lives matter. You see what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So all I know is that he's going to sell these t-shirts, which I will not be purchasing. And no, I will not be putting the link in the description either. But all I can say is, Kanye, sit your black ass down and get some help, all right? I'm sending you light, love, and positivity. And, if someone shows you who they really are, believe them. So that's all I got to say in that department. All right, I want to talk about this Tom and Giselle dilemma. Now, Tom Brady is a handsome fella. I got to meet him when I was at the Super Bowl halftime. very kind gentleman. You know, I didn't know who he was at first until after, and I was just like, oh, okay. You know, I would have been way more excited to meet his wife, well, ex-wife now. She was in that movie Taxi, which is one of my favorite movies with Queen Latifah and Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon, the comedian, the one who's in New York. But so apparently they're getting a divorce because Tom was supposed to retire this year. Apparently he's not going to retire anymore, and Giselle is really pissed off about that because Giselle wanted to start taking up modeling again, as rightfully so. The girl is gorgeous and phenomenal. I mean, look at her, stunning, gorgeous. But apparently they've been, you know, having not so great communication and a lot of disagreements. And you know, for me, I think that, you know, he broke a promise to her. Now, granted, I'm not in anybody's marriage. You know, this is all allegedly in my mind, in my head. He broke a promise to her because when he was living out his dream, she stuck by him, raising the kids, being a stay-at-home mom or whatever she's been doing, while he's out there pursuing his dream. And apparently the reason why he's not retiring, because if he does one more year, he's going to be able to own a football team. And she doesn't care about that, which obviously if he owns a football team, that's like he'll be a billionaire or something like that. I don't know what their finances are like, but he would be having a lot of money. And she doesn't want that. She doesn't care. She's just like, yo, you made a vow, you made a promise. Sit back and let me do what I want to do now. You know what I mean? And she's still young enough to do it. And she still looks great enough to do whatever she chooses to do. If homegirl wants to be in a model again, she can. But I've seen her do some modeling things, but I guess it's not full time because, again, they got kids. She's a mom. She's, you know, all of that. I think that, you know, Tom should keep his word and sit back, because also football is a dangerous sport. You know, all these concussions and whatnot. This man is pushing 40. If not, he already is 40. What you running around on a field catching a ball and whatnot, getting clunked and pushed and squished by other men in your 40s when you can get really, really hurt and injured? And then you're really going to feel bad for yourself because homegirl is not going to take care of you. I would have been like, no, you did this on you. Hire a home health aide or some shit like that. I'm not about, you done did this to yourself selfishly. They don't need all that money. So apparently they're getting a divorce, and people from both sides, the football lovers, the model lovers, are torn about this because I guess they were like the idol dream couple, and I guess they've been together for like 10 years or so. So the marriage is not 50-50, it's 100 and 100. And you have to realize that, you know, a lot of communication has to go hand in hand, and you have to make sacrifices in a lot of different ways, you know. And for him to break this certain, you know, promise that he made to her, it's very disheartening and very sad. And I don't think that's a proper example to show your kids of, you know, not following through your commitment. Now, granted, as a man, in his mind, he's just like, but babe, I'm this close to finishing the dream of, you know, winning all these championships, going out strong, retiring, and getting a team, and having my own team. You know, I understand that as a man perspective. I totally understand that. But on my feminine side, I feel for her. No, bro, you promised that you were gonna hold it out, and you haven't. And now I'm not feeling you anymore like that. You know what I mean? To a certain degree. So all in all, sending high love and praise and energy to this couple right here. You know, may the divorce be as smooth as butter, or may you have the spirit to go back into counseling, or, you know, Tom, get yourself together and sit your white ass down, and Giselle, walk the runway. All right, so good luck to these couple. Good luck. All right, beautiful people, we are now moving on to my next favorite segment, which is sipping on some TikTok tea. Let's get to it. Oh, yeah. Alright, so I got a few TikTok videos for us to discuss. And it's by the user Zoe, the Free Ranger Human. She shows us this crazy life hack regarding putting your clothes away. Roll the clip.
Show me the life hack that you saw one day that is now an unconscious standard practice. Anyway, you get the point. So this is mine. Clothes, hanging up clothes, right? You load them up on your arm. You take them by the collar, like in the middle, the head hole. You put your hand through the head hole, okay? Load as many up as you want. Doesn't matter, as many as you can fit on your arm if you want. Get your pile of hangers, and then you just hold the hanger. I just do this. and then you just slide it on, and there's your shirt. And then you do the next one. You slide it on, and there's your shirt. And it's so quick and easy. And I want everyone to know this hack because honestly, it saves me so much time. Everyone needs to do this. You're welcome. Just a tip.
Isn't that genius? Isn't that genius? I'm going to be starting to use that method. I don't know about y'all, but that right there, because I'm overfolding. All right, I want to hang stuff now. I'm at a point in my life where I'm 25 and I want to start hanging stuff now. So love this hack, and I'm going to be using it. Let me know if you're going to be using it too. All right. So this other video is by the user Young Jeffrey 803, and he gives you a bunch of life hack tips that I can't even begin. Roll the clip.
Life hacks that actually work, part 1. Let's go. Number 1, if you're in a jam and you really need some breakfast, go to your local hotel. You can go in from the side and see if the door is open. You can walk up the stairs to the 2nd floor, then take the elevator down to the 1st floor and just go straight to the breakfast bar. Eat all you want. And make sure it's like a Holiday Inn Express or something like that. Yeah. Number 2, sometimes McDonald's will have reusable cups for your drinks. So if you ever get one and you ever catch the season when they out, make sure you grab one. Or you can just get a regular cup and throw it in your trunk when you're done with it, and then just go and get free unlimited drinks all you want. I got a cup from like 6 months ago. Number 3, if you ever order anything online, always use promo code military, or sometimes service 10, service 20, or service 30, service 40. Sometimes you'll get 10, 20, 30, or 40% off of the order because they really love the military, and they don't ask for proof that you're in the military, so you don't have to upload the ID or nothing. But, if you're ethical, don't do this. But, these are just things that have worked. Next, if you don't know how to get off the phone, make sure you turn on airplane mode during the middle of the call. That way it's gonna come up as call failed as opposed to call ended. See, it looked like the call was dropped, right? It don't look like you hung up on them. You see where I'm going with this? To all my people out there that's trying to get into long distance situations, if somebody is far away, make sure you tell them that you're twice as far away than you actually are. So if they're 30 minutes away, right? You could tell them that you're an hour and a half away and then be like, yeah, let's meet in the middle. Really, they just meeting where you already are. You feel me? If you ever get some Bose headphones or some Beat headphones and you want a new pair, you can just go swap them out. And a lot of places, either 2 weeks or it's 30 days for the return policy or the exchange. So you can just take them back, get the new box, take the new ones out, and then put your old ones in there. They the same exact pair. And most of the time, they don't even check to see if they're brand new or not or damaged. But if they do, most of the time they don't give a fuck. They'll just package it up and be like, all right, we're going to return the money to the payment source. And I'd be like, yeah, I got some new headphones, finessing these niggas. Lastly, if you ever get a speeding ticket, make sure you show up to court to dispute it. Make sure you show up to court to dispute it. A lot of times the sheriff or the policeman that pulled you over, they don't even show up. And if they do, then most of the time just ask them if their radar has been calibrated. Most of the time, it ain't been calibrated as much as it should be calibrated, and they might throw it out anyway. At the very minimum, you'll get the ticket reduced. You just pay that little shit and get out of there. But you can get it dropped altogether because you had the stamina to show up to court. Life hacks.
Isn't that the most genius life hacks you've heard in quite a minute? Oh my goodness, I'm gonna be using, I don't know how many, that was just a teacup of knowledge right there. I don't know about y'all, but that was a teacup of knowledge. But let me know if you're gonna be using this hacks too, because I think I'm gonna be using definitely that coat hanger one. What? And oh my goodness, that gentleman, whoo, I don't even know where to begin. But yeah, that was some TikTok tea right there. All right, so I don't know about you, but I live for show and tell. All right, so let's get right into some showing and telling. All right, let's get to it. All right, so the first show and tell I got for you is some brand new shoes. Ooh, oh yes. All right, lo and behold, are you ready? Drum roll, please. Ta-da! Look at these. All right, so I just purchased these gorgeous coffee brown pleaser boots. These are 7 inches. These are my new obsession. I've worn these about twice now, and I'm starting to really get into brown footwear. Now, these boots retail, I believe I paid like 70 something dollars for them. A little on the pricier side, but listen. So I'm a men's 9, which makes these a woman 12. All right. Now, the higher the arch, the size up you go. See what I'm saying? So if the arch was a little lower, then I would be a woman's 11. You know what I mean? So I'm obsessed with these. I'm finding different outfits to style these with. I have recently just made a review video explaining in depth about these boots that I don't want to get into on here, because I want you to watch the video, which will be in the link in description down below. My shoe review series, the Heal Me series is what I call them. But overall, I love my purchase. Very grateful. I'm super excited. I'm going to be wearing these in the city later today because I'm going out tonight doing open mic. But I'm very surprised that these don't have the Pleaser logo on them, which I'm very shocked. But, you know, to each his own. I look forward to seeing the full collection, because there's going to be more of these. They're going to have the 8-inch ones. These are the 7-inch ones. And they come in coffee, dark brown, burgundy, beige, and all of that. So I look forward to that collection. But I think that's going to come out in like 2023, around January, February. So I'm saving up my coins now. But yes, show and tell. Love it. Here for it. Hello, beautiful people. Okay, so we are back with our next segment, which is my special guest, my brother, Ronnie Reed. Give it up for him. Give it up for him. Now, thank you so much for being my guest. My brother is my first guest here on Tea with V. In this moment, I wanted to first say thank you again for coming onto the show.
Anytime.
And I wanted to... There's so much that has been happening with you creatively and all of that fun stuff. I recently got to see you at A Raisin in the Sun.
Yes,
which
yes.
In hindsight, I didn't realize that... I read that in school back in the day. That's part of like your curriculum, but now things have changed. But so there's like so many things that I want to tell you about. First of all, you did amazing in the play.
Thank you.
Also, Brooke saw you last night, and she thought you were amazing.
Really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
no, she really did. She was just like your presence was very angelic, and yeah, she was like,
awesome.
He was beautiful. And
it's a small part.
Very small.
But it's all right.
But it's an important part too, you know. And wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
That
Exactly. I had to show the mood, and I had to give the guy the bad news. So I had to make sure I had to give it that.
What? How did you be a part of Raisin in the Sun?
Michael Baldwin actually reached out to me.
Wow.
And a couple other of my friends that are part of the Playhouse. They said, Ronnie, you should audition for this. And I said, all right, well, I guess I have the time, because Michael always tries to get me to audition for the plays, and I'm always so hesitant because I'm not big into theater, and I never thought I would ever be a thespian or anything like that. But I auditioned for it, thought I did horrible, and then he told me the next day I got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. How long did it take? Because it's like not... You still have like a tasteful amount of lines, but it's not as much as the other characters.
Yeah.
What is your process when it comes to memorization and all of that?
I learned a little trick. I would record myself doing both sides of the line. So like I would say my lines, and then record it, and then record the other lines, and so then I could reiterate it back to myself. Like I would be like talking to myself pretty much.
Got it.
That's the only way I could remember anything.
How long do you do that?
I still do it to this day. I'm still doing it now.
Is it like 100 times over,
Yeah,
or just
always,
always
100%.
like it's?
It's got to be a conversation. It's got to feel like super fluent, and everything's got to roll like how we're talking. Like the dialogue has to be perfect.
And you feel comfortable in remembering that?
I do, yeah, I do now. I do it like during every day. I look like a crazy man in the car talking to myself.
Right.
So I have to pretend like I'm on the phone or something. So.
Well, no, that kind of is because I've always appreciated actors, and I love watching actors on actors and hearing their methodology and role playing and all of that, and really understanding the skill set. Because for me, like, my memory is like terrible sometimes, but I've always. But then again, it isn't, because if I really like the way somebody delivers something, I will remember it. Exactly, so I guess there is no excuse. If you really are really into that character and you want to channel it, you'll fucking know that line.
It's
you'll
just like with music, like music video or songs or something.
Yeah.
We know so many more songs than like we realize that we do, because we've remembered it, we've heard it so many times.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I can sing this song.
Yeah.
So it's like, that's how I kind of like put it too.
When was your love for acting? Like, when did that start for you?
Probably like when I moved away to go to school in Texas. I wanted to try to play football, and then that failed miserably. And so I was like, oh, let me try acting, because they had like an open casting call for this indie film. What's it called? Casey Jones the movie. And so I did work on that, got the role for one of the gang members, and then I was like, wow, I like this a lot. And then when I came back this way, I started, like, when I came back home, I wanted to try more and like get more into it, and I just kept trying to do auditions, looking up online what I could do to further that sort of career, and now I'm here.
What was that switch for you to like that realization of football is not my path? Like, was there a moment where you were like scared to death of like, when, or did you know like, oh, acting is my next calling, or like what was that switch that? Because I know that. And how old were you when that happened?
21.
21. Yeah. So there was like, so not too far from me. What was that like? Because I'm fascinated of like, were you scared or nervous about that transition, or were you really radically accepted? It's not for me.
No, like football. Just with the football thing, I wasn't fast enough.
Got
realistically, and I'm 5'6".
Yeah.
And yeah, no, they're just like I just didn't have that sort of drive that all the other athletes did. Like
Got
they
it.
were.
So there wasn't a disappointment at all.
No,
it was just
really.
like okay, change of pace.
Exactly.
Wow. Yeah. And you've been doing comedy like the same amount of time as acting,
no,
or that was
actually,
later?
Yeah, that was later. That was so 2009 was the first movie I did, and then 2014 was the first stand-up I ever did.
Wow.
Yeah.
What prompted you being into? Because I know you love comedy.
Yeah.
I know, Comedy Central, Tosh.0. I remember you watching all of that.
Love it. What I thought I could trick, like, I thought I wouldn't have to do theater if I did stand-up.
Got it.
So I thought that would be my stage performing.
Got it.
And also, like, stand-up helped with auditioning for like TV shows and stuff, and then my stand-up started taking off
because you were comfortable being in front of people. Got it.
And so now, like, so the stand-up actually helped me get other roles in shows and stuff too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, what prompted you to like? How do you get ready for a show per se? What comedy-wise and for Raising in the Sun now? Like,
for Raising in the Sun, I just had just repetition for that. Like, so when for like plays or like when I do like TV stuff or like I get sent a script or whatever, I do it in 3 different ways. I read it funny, I read it serious, and I read it in accents. So like, and if you can try to like make that happen, like if you can make something out of those 3 things and like it can sound good either way, like you're doing something right. But like and then for like my stand-up stuff, I just do more so things that I know. I don't really talk about things I don't.
Right.
And things that make me laugh, because I think I'm the funniest person in the world. So,
which makes your work really contagious with laughter as well, and the way you also carry yourself on stage too, and how solid you feel more than anything is very, very moving and whatnot. What you also have been coaching for Salisbury Central, or co-coaching.
Bobby Chatfield, our cousin.
Everybody, our cousin,
Bobby was the head coach, and he blessed me enough to ask if I wanted to help him co-coach or whatever. I was the assistant, and we had 30-something kids. We had 30 kids, and that dwindled down to a little bit because it was wild. Like
with COVID and everything.
COVID, and just like for a basketball team, there shouldn't be 30 kids on the team, but like
how many are there supposed to be? Like 15?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we had We had quite a bit of kids, but like it ended up being an amazing experience, and we made a bunch of connections with the kids.
Would you go back?
Yeah, I'd totally help them again.
Yeah.
I totally would. It was fun. It was a good time. It kept me in shape.
Wow. I wanted to ask you 7 questions to close out.
Okay.
Very simple, off the cuff. Just think them while you can.
Gotcha.
All right. So, what's your favorite way to start a conversation?
How's your day today?
Okay. Who was your first musical idol as a kid?
Busta Rhymes.
Wow. What's your favorite smell and why?
Oddly lavender.
Really?
I don't know why. It feels good to the nostrils.
If you could invent a holiday, what would it be?
Rondé.
Rondé. I like that. What would be in Rondé? Like, what would one do?
Play sports. Eat good food.
A breakfast. They must have a breakfast sandwich.
Yeah, you have to have a breakfast.
You have to have a breakfast
sandwich. And drink.
Okay. All right. Any drink in particular?
It's whatever.
A drink of your choice.
A drink of your choice.
But you got to do something physical.
Yeah.
A breakfast sandwich and a drink. Rondé. That'd be cool. I'd be
Rondé, baby.
What's the most useful product you own?
The most useful product. I'm gonna like nerd myself, but I guess my PS4. Yeah, my PS4.
What top favorite top 5 games from that PS4?
I'd say gotta go Call of Duty. Madden. FIFA. Tiger Woods. And Assassin's Creed.
I was gonna say
I was doing that on purpose.
I used to actually Ronnie is the reason why I got into gameplay is because our bonding moments I would watch him play video games and I would be his second pair of eyes whenever he would miss stuff, and now I'm like game obsessed tastefully now. When it comes to your friendships, who is your oldest friend?
My oldest friend would probably be Dusty Moore.
How's he doing?
He's doing very well. He's
That's
got
good.
a little one I think he's around 7 years old now almost.
Wow.
Yeah. That's my oldest living friend. Yep.
And lastly, what is your favorite quote that resonates with you?
Don't suck. Yeah.
Can't relate, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh God, yes.
Well, thank you so much for coming on to my talk show Tea with V. We'll do a separate video where we have an hour to debrief and whatnot. But thank you so much.
You,
I love and appreciate
love
you. You can check him out at Sharon Playhouse, Raisin in the Sun. How many dates are left?
We have 4 more dates of shows. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Thursday there's 2 shows, at 2 o'clock and at 8 o'clock. Friday there's 1, 8 o'clock. Saturday there's 2 shows, again 2 and 8. And Sunday is the matinee last closing show is at 3.
Great. Get your tickets now. And where can they find you?
Ronnie Reed Comedy on Instagram and Facebook, or just Ronnie Reed on Facebook.
All right, so you heard it here first. Get your tickets. All of his information will be in the link in the description down below. And yeah, thank you.
Anytime.
All right, so we're going to close out in today's episode with the quote of the week. All right, so here we go. Let me read you the quote of the week. Okay, quote of the week is by Ken Kesey. All right, and they say this: "You can't really be strong until you see a funny side to things." And that was by Ken Kesey. All right. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Shout out to my brother, Ronnie. Thank you so much for being on today's episode. I love and appreciate you dearly. Now, if you like what you see and you want to become a Vemizer, head over to my website at vemiloevergreen.com. Anything and everything about me will be on there except my birth certificate and social security number. All right. And don't forget to like this video, comment, share, and subscribe, and all of that good stuff. All right. So please be safe, sanctified, and sanitary under these self-reflecting times. And of course, I will catch you all in the next episode. All right? Mwah. Bye.